as we welcome you to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Ellettsville, Indiana. It is the 1-0 Greencastle Tiger Cubs taking on the 1-0 Edgewood Lady Mustangs tonight in girls basketball action. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Well, Quinn, Gary Sims has retired as the Edgewood girls basketball coach, and Kurt Simic has taken over. And one thing that hasn't changed in the transition is the way Edgewood plays defense, forcing 36 West Vigo turnovers, and Taylor Minnick having a double-double with 21 points and 11 steals the other night.
Yeah, and that was even without Kaylee Meyer. And one big part of the offense and defense last season. She's now going to be playing her first game tonight after meeting the practice requirement. She does cross country, so she had to miss a couple of ones, finally becoming eligible for play here tonight. Her and Taylor Minnick are the two big holdovers from a very senior-led team last year, and so far they're going to be tasked with trying to help this group of young players get accustomed to the season.
As we're getting ready for the national anthem here. As the national anthem is played, and we are getting ready to set to go. You mentioned Kaylee Meyer, Quinn, one of the seniors. There is only one other senior on this team, and that is John L. Pace. She only played in 3 games last year, started 2, actually tore her ACL in this game last year against Greencastle, and now she is back. Last year, Edgewood was the walking wounded. So many girls were out most of the time because of injuries, and now a lot of these girls are finally back and healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, definitely a full roster available for Coach Sinek in his first season as Edgewood Mustangs.
Looking at the Greencastle roster, they will start with number 35, Allison Stevens at forward, 6-foot junior. Ella Shields, 5'10", sophomore. Number 25, Celie Sofragan, number 5, 5'5", senior. Jalen Duff is 33, 5'5", senior. And Madison Rogers, number 3, 5'3", junior for Todd Winland. First year at Greencastle, 1-0, 222 wins, 115 losses, and 15 years overall. 7 different schools he coached at. He's coached at Frankton, Henderson Highland, Delta, Hamilton Heights, Warren Central, and then Carmel. He coached Ms. Basketball Amy Dilk last year, 24-3 record, won the sectional at Carmel, and then was let go. So it was a tumultuous offseason for Coach Winland, and he's found a home here at Greencastle. For Edgewood, real quick, Allie Spear, 5'6", junior, number 22. Kaylee Meyer, 5'8", senior, number 25. Taylor Minnick, 5'6", sophomore, number 23. Shelby Anderson, number 11, 5'5", junior. Trista Helms, the freshman, 5'9", number 34 in the middle. Kurt Simic, his first year as the Edgewood coach, 1-0. And, of course, longtime assistant at both Bloomington North and Edgewood. And now he is finally in charge of his own program. And he is very excited about the prospects that this young team has. It's going to be Helms to jump, along with Allison Stevens. Greencastle controls the tip. 33, Jalen Duff. She had 19 points the other night against Cascade. As Allison Stevens puts up the shot, it is no good. Ball loose, recovered by the Tiger Cubs. Stevens with it. Coach Winland's got a lot of kids he can use. Could go 11 deep tonight if he wants to, he says. They all played the other night. Missing one girl because of injury. That's Claire Gillen, the 6-foot senior.
We're already seeing that stifling defense as they have yet to get a shot up here in the first 30 seconds as I say that.
And there is the miss from Stevens. Taylor Minnick with the rebound. Up ahead, Kaylee Meyer, and she gets the bucket, and Edgewood on the board.
Minnick probably enjoyed scoring 21 points in her season opener, but she's probably more happy to have her teammate Kaylee Meyer back.
And the rebound, or the miss by Ella Shields. And Allie Spear gets the foul. Ella Shields at the line. She's a 5'10 sophomore. But Coach Simic talked to me before the game, and he talked about how he was so happy to have Kaylee Meyer back because she plays at such a high level and has such a high motor, and he's so excited to have her back to mesh with this younger group of kids that he has this year.
Yeah, she's always been more mature than whatever grade that she has been in, and it's really going to be really interesting seeing her as a senior as you see her trying to set the pace here in this game.
And she takes it right to the basket and gets fouled, and that will be on Allison Stevens, her first, team's first. Kaylee Meyer at the line, did not play the other night against West Vigo because she did not have the 10 required practices that she needed because she was competing in the cross-country state championships. Edgewood made it as a team. Her teammate, Annalisa Crane, a sophomore who did play basketball last year, not playing this year, was third in the state this year. Edgewood up to a 4-0 lead, Meyer, or 4-1 lead, Meyer with all 4 points. Underneath, Stevens misses it, gets her own board and put back.
And I'm looking at Stevens to be a huge factor for Greencastle as she gets a huge steal.
And Kaylee Meyer with a block. Shelby Anderson gets it to Trista Helms. And the rebound to Stevens. And it's out of bounds. It will be Edgewood ball.
As I was saying, I expect Stevens to be a huge asset for Greencastle in this game, especially because she's going to be the tallest player on the court regardless of who steps on here. And that height and also her skill in the post is going to be a big contributor.
Trista Helms gets the basket off the feed from Meyer. You can tell Edgewood playing at a lot faster pace now with Kaylee Meyer on the floor. Rogers, the shot, no good. Helms the rebound. Shelby Anderson with the basketball. Couple dribbles behind her back, gonna take it and gets the roll.
Shelby Anderson following the tradition of JV stars who transition seamlessly into varsity.
And there is Allie Spear with the deflection. Last touch by Spear, and it will be Greencastle ball. Kurt Simic also was telling me that Allie Spear, how hard she's worked in this offseason to get back. And I was watching her in warm-ups, and she looks 100% healthy and has really worked hard, and it's about to pay off for her. So, I mean, again, it's just so nice to see Edgewood finally have a full complement of players. This is Sofragan, number 5. I mean, you can tell that suffocating defense. They held West Vigo scoreless in that third quarter Tuesday night. And now coming into the game, Mia Shields, 5'6" freshman. As there's the pressure, gets it, Spear gets it ahead, and then throws it over the head of Minnick out of bounds, Greencastle ball.
Mia Shields is only played as one game as being a freshman, but that was such a good first game. 15 points in that one. She looks to bring instant offense off the bench for Greencastle.
Yeah, they've had 3. Greencastle's got it kind of a mixture of girls that have, you know, a couple girls. Madison Rogers moved in from Mount Vernon Posey. Ella Shields and Mia Shields moved in from Hamilton Heights. Camila Ray, a senior, didn't play last year. And then you've got several other girls back from this team a season ago. There is Allie Spear, and she is going to get fouled as she brings the ball up the floor.
Fouls on number 25, Ella Shields.
That's on Ella Shields, her first, team's second. Now Edgewood will inbound. Here is Kaylee Meyer. You know, last year Edgewood really struggled to score, and it seems like so far they're finding a much easier way to get to the basket.
Well, Meyer's always had a knack for offense, so having her in this game able to give instant offense, but as we saw in the first game, Minnick has improved greatly, and a lot of the newcomers seem to be very good at offense.
As Ella Shields misses the shot, gets fouled. That will be on Shelby Anderson. Her first.
Will be Ella Shields.
So Ella Shields at the line. So far 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and she gets that free throw to go. One more for Shields as they got 2 points. And she misses it. Rebound and put back for Allison Stevens. So it is 8-6. Taylor Minnick gonna fire a shot, no good. And Kaylee Meyer tied up. And it will be Edgewood ball. Allie Spear gets it in, bounces off the back of Mia Shields. Trista Helms baseline shot too strong, rebounded by Spear. Gets it back to Helms. She clears back out. Dribble handoff Anderson, puts it up in the lane and gets the bucket. And they're going to call the offensive, or call the foul on Greencastle.
And I mentioned the increase in offense. Anderson also was an offensive magnet for JV, so having her scoring prowess here on the varsity team is also helping to raise Edgewood's scoring ability.
Shelby Anderson gets that free throw. A season ago, she played in 25 games, started 6, scored 93 points, averaged 3.7 points a game, 2 games in double figures last year. Her high was 14 against Shakamak.
But don't forget the average of like 20 points a game in JV.
Bailey Shuey checks in for
Shuey
for Greencastle, replaces Ella Shields. And Shelby Anderson was one of the better JV players Edgewood had last year, as the ball went out of bounds. Will be Greencastle ball. Allie Spear will inbound. Takes it away is Mia Shields. This is Allison Stevens underneath. She's got 6 points. Here comes Edgewood up the floor quickly. Kaylee Meyer, she gets fouled and will go to the line.
You can see she's still in cross-country mode. She just keeps on running no matter what, even if there are people in the way.
That will be on Allison Stevens. Kaylee Meyer is like the Energizer Bunny. She keeps going and going and going. She misses that free throw.
Entering the lineup for the Mustangs.
And now we'll see
10,
Carly Sherfield, number 10. Saw her in the JV, her twin sister Claire, the younger sisters of Erin Sherfield, who played here a few years ago. Erin in the stands watching her sisters tonight. Meyer's second free throw is no good. And here comes Greencastle up the floor quickly. Wild shot by Duff. And now crazy erratic pace as Sherfield on the floor, and it's a jump ball as Sherfield and Duff tied up. Possession arrow with Greencastle. So Greencastle down by 3, approaching 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. You see Minnick. Sherfield, she's an in-your-face defender, just like her older sister. Inside, gets it out. Stevens baseline, too strong. Minnick with the rebound. Taylor Minnick, also a verbal commitment to the University of Tennessee in softball. Sherfield with a shot, misses. The rebound to Jalen Duff, and she pushes it up against Minnick, and it's going to be a foul on Minnick.
Fouls on number 23, Taylor Minnick.
That's the first on Minnick, the team's third foul. Greencastle will inbound Mia Shields, the freshman. They're going to get it to Jalen Duff. Gets past Minnick, and she gets called for a travel in the lane as she shuffled her feet. Edgewood up by 3. As you see, both teams going to play that full court pressure as Soffergan and Sherfield got tied up, and it will be Edgewood ball. Greencastle in the Western Indiana Conference West Division, Edgewood in the East. They could potentially meet again in those crossover matchups in January, depending on conference standings. Shelby Anderson launches a long 3, and it's off the mark. And then it is Kaylee Meyer and Duff going to the floor, and they're going to call Meyer for the foul.
Fouls on number 25, Kaylee Meyer.
So Allie Spear checks back in.
Allie Spear for the
And then Ella Shields going to check back in for Greencastle. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Edgewood up by 3. Very physical game so far. 3 off the mark by Shields. And then Taylor Minnick 1 on 3, and she gets it to go. Her first 2 of the night.
It's not the most sustainable form of offense going 1 on 3 on a constant on every fast break, but it has worked so far. But it's something that Coach Senning will probably want to talk to his team about.
Yeah, he'll want to tell the team to slow down a little bit and take it back out. But that's the way Edgewood plays. They play fast, they play in your face, and they get to the bucket. Inbounding Duff off the mark, loose ball. Soffergan gets it. She gets it to Shuey. There is Mia Shields. 25 in the lane. Gets fouled. That's Ella Shields, and she'll go in the line.
Fouls on number 22, Allie Spear.
That's 2 on Allie Spear.
Number 25, Ella Shields.
And this will be Ella Shields at the line for the Tiger Cubs. She had 9 points the other night against Cascade, and she misses the free throw.
Entering the lineup.
Already getting kind of close to the bonus for both teams. 5 fouls for Edgewood and 4 for Greencastle.
There's a lot of substitutions so far.
Tiger Cubs,
Madison Rogers checks in. Sofrigan comes out. As Ella Shields with 1 more free throw. And it is good.
Entering for the Tiger Cubs, number 55, Camilla Ray.
And Camila Ray checks in for the Tiger Cubs, and now we'll see John L. Pace for the first time in this game. Again, missed most of last season with an ACL injury, but is back this season. Shelby Anderson with the ball. Mustangs up by 4. There's Kaylee Meyer, baseline. Going to get called for the carry, and it will be a turnover to Greencastle.
Yeah, that has always been the Achilles heel of Meyer's game, is that because she is always moving, she sometimes can be careless with the ball.
And one of the other Achilles heels is Edgewood's free throw shooting, 2 for 4 this evening so far. There is that pressure. Ray gets it to Duff, and she misses the shot. Battle for it between Ray and Anderson. Ray wins it. There is trapped by Duff out. Number 31 with the shot. That is Shuey. She misses it. Anderson with the rebound. Pushes it ahead to Minnick, and she shuffled her feet. They don't call it. Anderson for 3. Got it.
Basket by Anderson.
They don't call Minnick for the travel, and Anderson gets the 3.
And that's why you should never get hung up on a missed call, because Shelby Anderson should not have been that wide open.
Rogers with the shot, no good. Minnick gets the ball, and that will do it for the first quarter as Edgewood on top 16-9 here on Smithville Sports.
The Tivoli Theatre in Spencer. Movies, shows and a warm atmosphere in this historic renovated theatre. See the latest films, a local show or various other acts. Just check the website to see what's on. Tickets are cheap. Most showings are $5 for adults and $3 for children, with concessions very reasonably priced. Regular free movies and special events are also a tradition at the Tivoli. So come on out to the Tivoli. You'll love it.
We welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School. As you see, Kurt Simic, the new girls basketball coach here at Edgewood, and his team on top 16-9. He was named the coach on May 21st. He's been an assistant under Coach Sims since 2015. He was a varsity assistant for Bloomington North boys basketball in 1994 to 97, and then 1999 to 2002. He's on the staff when the Bloomington North won the state championship in 97, and then was on the runner-up team in 2000. Was a girls assistant from 2003 to 15 for 3 different coaches. He was the head coach at Washington Catholic for 2 years in 1997 to 99.
But we don't talk about that.
But we don't talk about that. I mean, he's, but it's good to see him finally get the opportunity to become a head coach. And again, he's assisted by one of his former players, Kylie Jarrett, played at Bloomington North, also played for Ball State University. As we are underway here in the second quarter, as Duff and Minnick take a hard fall to the floor, and they're going to get Minnick.
Fouls on number 20.
That's her second.
Taylor Minnick. Entering the lineup for the Lady Tigers, number 35, Allison Stevens.
35, Allison Stevens is going to check in. Rogers is going to come out.
Good to see that Minix still has that bulldog defense mentality.
20, Mallory Love is in the game. First time we get to see her. She missed all last season with an injury. And now again, back healthy as Stevens gets the putback. And she's got 8 points. And this is a 5-point Edgewood lead. Kaylee Meyer's got pace, and she's just going to take it herself and score.
Kaylee Meyer.
She had pace wide open, but just took it on herself and scored.
And did a nice sidestep doing it.
And then Allison Stevens already in double figures with 10 of the 13 Greencastle points.
I said, watch out for her.
All 5 field goals from Stevens. Shields has got the other 3 points, all on free throws. 5-point lead for Edgewood. As Meyer gets it to Sherfield. Back to Meyer. Gets it to Love. Tries to throw it cross court to Meyer. Meyer slices her way and scores.
Basket by Meyer.
Kaylee Meyer with 8 points already in the game.
Trying to make up for lost time of missing the first game.
And you can tell that they are happy to have her back because she brings a lot of energy to this team. And there is the block from Kaylee Meyer against Jalen Duff.
Asserting herself as the senior leader on this team and also the alpha dog in this game.
Sydney Doan is going to check in for Greencastle, replacing Ray. And into the game for the first time, Daphne Ehrman, number 15 for Edgewood. There's Shelby Anderson, shot short. Gets it to Mallory Love. Sherfield's going to try a 3, too strong. Ehrman's got to save it. She does. And then the ball loose. Softbergen is going to take it the other way and score.
Basket by Stoppergan.
So it is a 5-point Edgewood lead. There's a lot of points off turnovers in this game. Both teams defense to create offense. And there is a turnover as Love threw it over the head of Sherfield out of bounds. Trista Helms is going to check back in. Love is going to go out. I mean, one thing Kurt Simick's got to be happy about is he's got a lot of girls now he can use. That Gary Sims didn't always have that option last year because of all the injuries.
He's also has quite a few good freshman players as well.
Yeah, we saw that in the JV contest as Edgewood was able to win the JV game tonight, 46-34. All freshmen, 8 girls played in that game, and they were all freshmen.
And that's going to put the Tiger Cubs into the bonus.
Second foul on Kaylee Meyer. And this again will put them in the 1-1. Allison Stevens at the line. 10 points tonight already for Stevens. Again, you mentioned her, Quinn, as a player to watch. She had 8 points the other night against Cascade. Last season, 5.6 points a game, 5.7 rebounds a game. Again, Duff is your leading returner at 10.8, then Stoffbergen at 7.6, Shuey at 7.0 points a game. So Todd Windland's got a mixture of a lot of players he can, new and old, that he has at Greencastle. Stevens gets one more. She's got 11 tonight. 6-foot junior. And she hits that free throw. 20-17. Madison Rogers back in for Greencastle. As lead is down to 3. Edgewood, good ball movement. Anderson fires a three off the mark, and using the elbows is Bailey Shuey to clear that board. Stoffrigan gets it to Shuey. Down the lane, no good, with Carly Sherfield getting the rebound. Sherfield gets it over to Anderson. Puts it up, and good for Shelby Anderson. Lead is 5. Shelby Anderson in double figures with 10 points. You know that she's a player that Kurt Simick's going to rely on a lot this season.
Especially as a three-point shooter, she is deadly from behind the arc.
There is Doan inside Rogers. Stoffrigan gets fouled as she goes to the bucket. That's going to be on Anderson. That's her second.
Yeah, and that's two for her and also 2 for Minnick. So have 2 key players who are kind of teetering on foul trouble.
And you also have 2 on John L. Pace as well. Kaylee Meyer is going to come back in, replacing Anderson. Jalen Duff is going to come in, replacing Mia Shields.
And that's the one thing is that Greencastle has stayed in this game, and Duff, their leading scorer, hasn't done much.
Hasn't scored yet tonight as Stoffrigan gets her 4th point, and the lead is down to 3. Minnick over to Ehrman. Tries to throw a pass to Meyer, recovered by Greencastle. There is Duff, as you mentioned, and she gets her first 2 of the night, and it is a 1-point lead for Edgewood.
It was only a matter of time.
As, again, both these teams mirror each other in the way they play defense. And was expecting a very tight game tonight. And there's a turnover, but they're going to say it last touched Greencastle. Greencastle fans don't agree with that. Coach Windland shaking his head.
Shelby Anderson.
And Shelby Anderson is going to come in replacing Ehrman. And now we're going to see Zoe Powell, number 35, for the first time, 5'6" freshman. So Meyer gets it to Anderson, puts up a 3 off the mark. Taylor Minnick with the rebound, but she's going to get called for the travel.
So focused on getting the ball, she forgot to dribble afterwards.
And Taylor Minnick is another girl that plays at such a high motor as well, like Kaylee Meyer. Edgewood had their fair share of turnovers the other night against West Vigo as well. As this is Duff. Doan. And good ball movement by Greencastle. Duff trying to drive it on Minnick. Ball loose. They're going to call the jump ball as Minnick and Shuey were tied up. It's going to be Edgewood ball.
This felt like a quick whistle because it seemed like Edgewood had already gotten it. So that's a waste of a jump ball.
Officials calling it pretty tight so far. And Minnick has it to Powell. Meyer going fast. Minnick puts up a shot off the glass and good for 3.
What's underrated is the behind-the-back pass from Meyer to get that 3 going in transition. But, of course, the bank always steals the show.
Bank stays open late here in Ellettsville on Saturdays. There's Meyer with the steal, and then she commits the foul. Coach Simick looking at not happy with the official on that call.
On number 25,
And that is 3 on Kaylee Meyer.
Kaylee Meyer.
And she's going to have to come out. Allie Spear is going to come in. That is big for Edgewood to have her in foul trouble.
3 on Meyer, 2 on Minnick, and 2 on Anderson. Those are your 3 main scorers. That is not the position that you want to be in if you're in the Mustangs.
And Meyer will probably sit this final 2:17 as Doan misses the free throw, and then they call Minnick for the travel. And now Coach Winland wants a timeout. And he's going to call a 30-second timeout with 2:15 to go here in the second quarter. Well, we finally get a chance to catch our breath here a little bit because this has been a very crazy game. Both teams back and forth, and it's really because of the way these teams play defense.
Yeah, neither team there are no plays taken off on defense. In fact, it almost feels like both teams prefer playing on defense than on offense at some points. I mean, granted, in the end, you always want to play offense because you want to be able to score, and there are players here who have done an excellent job of scoring in this game, but these are two teams that relish in defense when sometimes people pretend the defense doesn't exist.
Yeah, these are two teams that definitely pride themselves on the defensive end. That's for sure. Jalen Duff blocked by Trista Helms, and Helms with the rebound. I mean, we're seeing it more and more, freshmen being able to start varsity. We saw it last year a lot with Taylor Minnick as Allie Spear puts up the shot, no good. And we see it, on the boys' side too. Once you get to high school, you're expected to play immediately. No classism against the lower class. The best players play, period. That's right. As Shuey gets it to Rogers, puts up the shot, and it's good for Madison Rogers, her first 2 of the night, and the lead is cut to 2. Minnick to Spear. To Anderson. To Powell. To Anderson. Knocked away by Duff, out of bounds, Greencastle ball, or Edgewood ball.
And someone besides that trio of Anderson, Meyer, and Minnick needs to make a shot here or get going, because especially with them being in foul trouble, somebody needs to step up.
Yeah, Trista Holmes is the only other player to score. She's got 2 points. Ball is tied up as it will be Greencastle ball.
Remember, I mentioned that quick whistle on the other jump ball situation coming into play here as Greencastle has a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game.
Under a minute to go before halftime. We'll have a halftime feature for you. As there is Duff. It is no good. The rebound to Doan. She gets fouled and will get to go to the line.
Fouls on Zoe Powell. At the line shooting 2, Sydney Doan.
So that will be on Zoe Powell, her first. And this will put Greencastle in the double bonus. Sydney Doan, 5'8" sophomore, missed her first free throw and misses again.
Well, you mentioned that Edgewood has a full roster and a healthy roster. Coach Simic taking advantage of that with all the foul trouble.
Something that he'll definitely want to preach to his team in the locker room at halftime. As Doan hits that free throw, now he's going to call a full timeout with Greencastle down 1 with 38.1 to go. You look at the Greencastle huddle with Coach Winland. Greencastle in Class 3A Sectional 25, Lebanon, Benton Central, North Montgomery, Southmont, and Crawfordsville. They've won 6 sectional titles in their school history: 1980, 81, 90, 92, 93, 2013, a regional title in 1980. Last year, 16-9, lost to Benton Central 56-37 in the sectional championship game. Their coach was Bradley Key, who has moved on to Greenfield Central. He was in 9 years, 128-76, 9 winning seasons, and 1 sectional title. Edgewood, a season ago, 12-13 under Gary Sims, but this is a proud tradition here at Edgewood, who has won 10 sectional championships, 2 regional championships, and have had 12 winning seasons in the last 18 years and won 6 sectionals. So both these teams are looking to keep that tradition alive with 2 coaches, first-year coaches at their respective schools, and Coach Windland and Coach Simic. So Edgewood up 1, approaching 30 seconds to go. And Minnick goes to the floor, and they're going to call over and back on Edgewood and be Greencastle ball.
This would be huge for the Tiger Cubs if they could get the lead here going into halftime.
As they're going to put it into the hands of Jalen Duff, and she's going to be guarded by Allie Spear. Into Stoffergen, nice bounce pass to Stevens, and Greencastle takes the lead.
First time this game, and who else but Stevens?
Up by 1. 3, they got to get the shot off. Anderson going to launch a long 3. It's off the mark, and Greencastle's going to go into the locker room up by 1, 26-25. Here's the highlights. As you see, Kaylee Meyer comes back in her first game after cross-country season. There is Shelby Anderson with the bucket. Allie Spear, as you see the defense on both sides. Allison Stevens leading the way for Greencastle. As you see Taylor Minnick to the basket and gets it out to Anderson, top of the key, hits the shot. As Kaylee Meyer, always going. She's like the Energizer Bunny. Jalen Duff inside. As we're at halftime, Greencastle leads Edgewood 26-25 on Smithville Sports. We welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Ellettsville, Indiana. Greencastle on top of Edgewood 26-25 as we get underway in the third quarter. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithville Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. And Quinn, Greencastle took the lead right before the end of the first half, and it's Allison Stevens leading the way with 14 points.
Stevens has done an excellent job. They have Edgewood has done a good job of covering Duff and kind of containing her, but Stevens has been basically able to do whatever she wants in this game and has taken advantage of it.
And there is Stevens, as you mentioned, right there, top of the key, 3, no good. Off Greencastle, and it will be Edgewood ball. Stevens with 14, Stoffergen with 4, Ella Shields 3, Duff and Rogers with 2, and then Doan with 1. You mentioned Anderson has 10 for Edgewood, Meyer 8, 5 for Minnick, and then just 2 for Trista Helms. And they're all in foul trouble as it will be a foul on Edgewood.
Yeah, when all of your points are related to foul trouble, you need someone else to step up.
And that is now 3 on Shelby Anderson. So she is in foul trouble. Minnick's got 2, Myers got 3. Stoffergen, that is deflected. Chase down. That is Ella Shields. Inside Stevens, can't hang on to it, out of bounds. It's Edgewood ball. So Spear, yep, and the officials say that was on him, so she'll get to inbound it now to Shelby Anderson. Spear to Anderson. Over to Minnick. Minnick gonna fire a 3 off the mark. And that is recovered by Ella Shields. Here comes Greencastle. Duff. Now Meyer gets in front of her. Stevens puts up the shot and gets it to go. And will go to the line.
And one opportunity for Allison Stevens.
Able to
Fouls on number 22.
She was just able to absorb contact and basically get a free shot and +1.
So Allie Spear is now in foul trouble with 3 fouls as Stevens misses the free throw. Kaylee Meyer gets it to Minnick. Anderson calls for it. She's got the wide open shot, no good. Tip back to mid-court, recovered by Taylor Minnick. Minnick drives 1-on-2, and she scores. I don't know if they teach her that in practice or she just decides to do it in the games.
Yeah, because Spear was wide open underneath.
There's Stoffergen and throws it underneath to Shields, Ella Shields, and she gets fouled and will go to the line.
And I think that's the
Fouls
fourth
on Shelby Anderson at the line.
on Shelby Anderson.
And that is huge because now she's going to have to come out. And now Ella Shields at the line. Shields with 3 points in the first half, all on free throws. And she gets her 4th.
Entering for the Lady
And now
Mustangs, number 10,
Carly Sherfield is going to have to check back in.
Sherfield had, I believe, 10 points in her season opener, so she can score. So she's going to need to tap into that scoring potential here in this game.
Shields misses that free throw. And they're going to call it a jump ball, which the Greencastle fans don't agree with.
Yeah, she had 9 points in the season opener.
And now the officials reverse the call, and it is Greencastle ball. So Greencastle up 2. Duff inbounds it loose. Here is Meyer against Stoffergen. Meyer's going to win the foot race, miss the shot, and it's off Allie Spear, and it's Greencastle ball. But both teams are just playing absolutely fast and not always able to convert. So here is Greencastle. Rogers guarded by Sherfield. Ella Shields goes down the lane, puts up the shot over Meyer and gets it to go. Her first field goal of the night, and Greencastle's up by 4. And then Ella Shields, but they're going to call the foul. She steals it away from Allie Spear, and they called the foul.
Fouls on number 25, Ella Shields.
That is her 3rd.
And here's an interesting fact: that ends a 9 straight foul run by Edgewood. Literally, the last 9 fouls had been called on Edgewood before that foul.
Yeah, Greencastle only had 4 fouls in the entire first half. So the officials letting them play. Kaylee Meyer throws up a runner. It's good for Kaylee Meyer, and she's in double figures with 10 points, and the lead's cut to 2. Stoffergen gets it to Rogers, to Duff. Duff held in check so far, just 2 points. Throws it inside to Ella Shields.
Yeah,
But
I was about to say I thought Spears might have gotten away with holding on, but the ref did catch her.
Entering for
And
the
that's-
Lady Cubs, Maya Shields.
And then Mia Shields is going to check in for Edgewood. Or Greencastle. That's 4 on Allie Spear. So the foul trouble continues. There's Rogers, puts up the shot, no good. Loose ball. They're going to call a jump ball. 20, Mallory Love is going to check in for Edgewood, replacing Spear. So not a lot of, you got to watch the foul trouble now. You got depth. And there's Minnick. And they are going to call Ella Shields with the foul.
But we're again seeing Edgewood kind of devolve into just running right at the basket and hoping something happens, which was how they were able to get the lead in the first place, but it also backfired against them in the second quarter. So we know this is an unreliable method. So while it is working to keep them in this game, they're going to have to be able to find open shots instead of just forcing things.
As Minnick gets the first free throw to go, Taylor Minnick with 8 points, 21 points, 11 steals the other night against West Vigo. She misses her second free throw. That is one Achilles heel for Edgewood, as last year as a team they shot just 58% from the foul line as a team. There's Stevens. She gets called for the travel. As it will be Edgewood ball. Carly Sherfield bringing it up, approaching 4.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. A lively crowd here on hand.
And it's a great sign that after a really good football season that we're having such a great basketball game to start off with.
As Meyer throws that out of bounds.
Number 33 entering the game.
To Minnick. Yeah, the Edgewood football team ends their season last night in the sectional championship, losing to East Central 57-22. Edgewood ends the year 8-4. Levon Bellamy, the running back on the season, 1,658 yards, 23 touchdowns. He had 3 receiving touchdowns and an interception return against Madison, so 27 touchdowns on the season. Skylar Curtis goes over 1,000 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So congratulations to Coach Rosenberg and the Edgewood Mustangs on a wonderful season. And it was a fun time to watch on that new red turf that Edgewood has here. And look forward to covering them again next year, as Curtis will be back as a senior quarterback. Lady Mustangs down 1. Carly Sherfield with the ball. Mallory Love. And inside, and that's going to be a foul on Greencastle as Stoffergan reached in.
Fouls on number 5.
That's her first. Ella Shields is in foul trouble for Greencastle. She's got 4. So something to keep an eye on as well for the Tiger Cubs. Carly Sherfield, Taylor Minnick, Trista Helms, baseline shot off the mark. Rebounded by Mia Shields. Gets it to Stevens. Duff cut into the basket, and good for Jalen Duff. Just her 4th point of the night.
And both have been set up by excellent post passes by Stevens.
Edgewood, Greencastle very well at cutting into the lane to get the baskets. Edgewood down 3. Another turnover. Mia Shields gets it to Duff. Now she'll slow things up. Now she's going to drive. Gets it out to Stevens to Stoffergan. She's going to throw up a shot and get fouled and go to the line. I think at this point, both teams are just trying to just throw it up there to get any type of contact necessary to get the foul called.
It's basically a war of attrition at this point. First team to run out of players loses.
That's going to be on Trista Helms, her first, team's 5th. Stoffergan at the line, 5'5" senior. As she gets the free throw, she's got 5 points. Shelby, now this is I think a tough move for Kurt Simic, putting Shelby Anderson back in the game with 4 fouls and 2:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, definitely looking for a spark. Basically looking for an outside presence, someone to shoot a 3-pointer.
Down by 5. Stoffergan's got 6. And you need anything you can go because it's been Meyer, Anderson, and Minnick who have scored 28 of the 30 points for Edgewood tonight. Trista Helms, the other 2. And ball is loose, and it will stay with Edgewood. So Meyer will inbound. Gets it to Anderson. Inside, Helms puts the shot over Stevens, too strong, and Stevens with the board.
That was great position, though. I mentioned Helms is a freshman as well, so she's definitely going to be someone who is going to be very fun to watch through the years as well, because she already has a really good grasp.
As Stofferman misses the 3, and Edgewood needs an inside presence, and they've got one with Trista Helms. There is Kaylee Meyer into Helms. Stevens gets called for the reach-in. As she came over the back of Helms.
Yeah, I mean, even though Stevens has really been able to score at will, but at the same time, Helms has been able to still challenge her quite better than I thought she would.
Yeah, Helms has been a force on the defensive end inside. Has been able to alter shots, has been able to get boards, kicks it out to Minnick. Sherfield's going to fire a shot. It's no good. There's Anderson for the rebound. She gets fouled and will go to the line.
But I like that. I don't think Sherfield took a single shot in the first half. And like I said, she had 9 points in her first game, so she definitely can score. So good to see her at least take that shot when she had the opportunity.
As Shelby Anderson at the line, the junior, misses the free throw.
I petition that we no longer call them free throws. We just call them foul shots because there's nothing free about them.
Sounds good to me. As Anderson gets the foul shot.
And it's going to be tough, isn't it?
Down by 4. As Stoffergan drives baseline, gets it to Shuey. Gets it to Mia Shields. Stevens. Stevens misses the shot. Battle for it between Duff and Minnick. They go to the floor, and they're going to call Minnick for the foul, and that's her 3rd. And the team's 6th.
Fouls on Minnick.
If it's one thing that you don't need to worry about, it's Minnick. She's used to playing with foul trouble and still staying aggressive.
And there's the pass underneath. Stevens miss it. Rebound Minnick. Here comes Edgewood. Minnick's going to take it herself and miss it. And it's rebounded by Shuey. Here comes Greencastle. Duff. And she gets past Anderson because Anderson can't commit the 5th foul. Stoffergan can't save it. And it's an Edgewood ball.
And credits to Meyer for altering that shot as well.
And Anderson just let her drive by her because she knew that if she tried any contact at all, that would be it for Anderson. You can't afford for her to go out. Shuey, guarded by Sherfield. Bodies flying everywhere. And Coach Winland wants a 30-second timeout. A smart move by the Greencastle coach.
3 timeouts left for Greencastle, 4 for Edgewood. This is probably very worth monitoring considering how close this game is.
I've got a feeling we're going to be using them all here soon if this game gets down the stretch. Upcoming for Edgewood, they play Bloomington South here on Tuesday night. They made the announcement right at the end of halftime. They were to play South Putnam on Friday. South Putnam's football team made the regional. They will actually play that game here on Thursday night, so it's been rescheduled. Edgewood South Putnam for Thursday night. Then they will be back here on Saturday against Linton. Then they go hit the road for a while, November 13th at Bloomfield, November 19th at White River Valley, November 30th at Cloverdale, December 3rd at South Vermilion. They were to play that game last night, but because of the Edgewood football game, they moved that game to December 7th at Cascade, December 8th at Shakamak, and then home December 14th against Indian Creek. Underneath, Stevens from Mia Shields.
And the reason why she's been able to score at will is because she's been able to get mismatches down low in the post and basically front her player so that all you had to do is just throw it over, as Shelby Anderson with a huge three. But that's why Stevens has been able to score at will, is because it's literally because she is the tallest player, they could just throw it over whoever's guarding her whenever it's not Helms.
Yeah, tallest player in the game at 6 foot for either team. Helms stands at 5'9". Final seconds here, and it's going to be a foul on Greencastle.
Fouls on number 33.
That's going to be on Jalen Duff. And that will be the team's 7th. So Edgewood in the 1-and-1. So this is key for Taylor Minnick at the line. Taylor Minnick. Shot is no good. And look who's there for the rebound. Kaylee Meyer got to put it up. Throws up her prayer. It's no good. And don't go anywhere. Greencastle up 37-34. Fourth quarter next on Smithville Sports.
All of our bowls are just a superfood, thicker smoothie, whether that's acai berry. We have what's called pitaya in a couple of our bowls, which is a really vibrant pink color. And then we chop up strawberries, bananas, blueberries, and they drizzle with honey. A couple of our bowls have peanut butter drizzled on top, dark chocolate bites. So every bowl is a little bit unique in its own way, but it's really just straight fruit and granola in a bowl. During the summertime, we're open Friday, Saturday. We're here from 10 to 3, and then Sunday, we're here from 9 o'clock to 1:30.
We welcome you back to the Mustang Corral as Edgewood is trailing Greencastle 37-34 as we start the fourth and final quarter of play. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball here on Smithville Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, it has been a nail-biter all night long in this varsity matchup, and I expect it to come down to the wire here as we start the fourth quarter of play. Both teams very hard, played very aggressive defensively, and neither team is giving up.
Basically, in the first half, it was all about Greencastle chasing Edgewood, coming close but not quite getting there before finally overcoming the obstacles and taking the lead before half. Roles have reversed here with Edgewood coming real close but not being able to quite take over Greencastle. So it's going to be interesting to see if Edgewood can also continue that trend and take over the game down the stretch. However, things are not on their side with a lot of key players in foul trouble.
A lot of key players in foul trouble. You got Shelby Anderson with 4, Allie Spear with 4, Taylor Minnick with 3, Kaylee Meyer with 3, and you've gotten only 2 points out of the players that are not named Minnick, Anderson, or Meyer, as Tristan Helms has the only other 2. So they've scored 32 of the 34 points as Minnick just committed her 4th foul. And this puts Allison Stevens at the line as Greencastle in the 1-and-1. The junior has had a nice night, misses the free throw. Rebound, Trista Helms. Meyer inside Trista Helms. Nice pass off to Zoe Powell, and she gets fouled. And we'll go to the line.
We're going to see these freshmen needing to step up here in this fourth quarter with all the upperclassmen being hampered by foul trouble.
This is Zoe Powell, 5'6" freshman, played the other night against West Vigo, did not score. And she gets a key free throw as Ella Shields coming in and Bailey Shuey going out. Pell with one more, misses the free throw. Battled around, Meyer trying to save it. She can't. It'll be Greencastle ball. As Kurt Simic trying to get his team's attention. Gonna throw that. Go throw Sherfield on the inbounder, try to trap it. Greencastle trying to break it. Duff gets it across midcourt. Gets it to Stevens, guarded by Helms. Now Mia Shields, guarded by Minnick. Gets it to Duff. Cutting to the basket is Ella Shields, and she gets the bounce, and Greencastle up by 4. Carly Sherfield gets to Meyer. To Minnick. Sherfield. Meyer. To Sherfield. Over to Powell. Minnick gonna drive past Stevens, and Stevens gonna get called for the foul, and that is 4 on Allison Stevens.
That was a very, very risky drive by Minnick, because that was a 50-50 call right there. That could have been her 5th.
And Taylor Minnick very lucky there.
Didn't bring her hands down or nothing. That's terrible.
And at the line, Minnick gets the bounce and gets the free throw.
Mustangs, Shelby Anderson.
Shelby Anderson in, and Carly Sherfield going out. So one more for Minnick. And she misses that one. Down by 3, Greencastle wanted it over in the back. They won't get that. As Duff, guarded by Minnick, gets it to Shields, tries to throw it to Stevens. Trista Helms can't hold on to it, out of bounds. Greencastle ball. Coach Winland wants a full timeout. That now puts, as you mentioned, Greencastle with 2 timeouts left and Edgewood with 4. Well, while we have a moment, we'd like to thank our crew, the hardworking women and men behind the scenes. We've got Clemente Torrado, Ethan Tashida, Catherine Dankowski on the cameras, Rob Ramsey directing the Deer Noon as the replays. You and I up here doing commentary. Also Annette Bruner here in the house, making sure everything goes right. We thank all of you for everything you do behind the scenes as we've now transitioned from the gridiron to the hardwood in our season now, basketball season here. Looking forward to bringing you a lot of Edgewood boys and girls basketball as well as Bloomington North boys and girls basketball. As football ended for Edgewood last night. Also some great news for the Edgewood High School band. They won the state championship today. So congratulations to Aaron Wells and the Marching Mustangs. They've been so close so many times, and finally they're going to bring a state championship back here to Ellettsville for band. Something that the school takes a lot of pride in. So congratulations to them. And there is Allison Stevens getting past Trista Helms.
That was an amazing fake out.
And Edgewood turns it over as Powell couldn't hang on to it. And the fans that have made the trip from Greencastle, about 45 minutes away, are very excited as their Tiger Cubs are about 6 minutes away, but they got to hold on here. Up 5. Stevens against Helms. Helms blocks, gets a piece of it, and it was last touched by Kaylee Meyer. And now Allie Spear is going to come back in, and Powell going to go out. As Stevens, ball is loose. Mia Shields puts it up, and it's short, and it is Edgewood ball. Now the officials discussing, I think they're saying that Edgewood tipped it out. So here's a discussion. As you just see Allie Spear kind of waiting patiently. And it will be Greencastle ball. They reverse the call. So Greencastle ball. Again, the Tiger Cubs 2 timeouts. Edgewood's got 4. And now, even before they could get the ball in bounds, a foul on Kaylee Meyer, and that's her 4th. Kurt Simic can't believe that. And it's going to put Ella Shields at the line.
Yeah, if you're gonna foul, if you're in foul trouble and you're gonna foul, you got to make it a worthwhile foul, not something while they're still trying to inbound it.
So Ella Shields at the line. She hits the free throw.
She's been kind of a little under the radar, but she's had a really good game, and especially at the foul line.
9 points tonight for Ella Shields. 1 more, and she misses that, rebounded by Trista Helms. And it was tipped out by Mia Shields, intended for Minnick.
You could say she shielded that ball away.
Yeah, she did. Shields sisters for Greencastle. Ella and Mia, both underclassmen. Mia just a freshman, Ella the sophomore. Taken away, Jalen Duff. Duff against Meyer, throws it up. And rebounded by guess who, and put back by Allison Stevens. Taking this game over. She's got 8 second half points. Meyer gonna put it up in the lane, too strong. Trista Helms with a big rebound. Shelby Anderson, maybe a little Euro step, but she gets it to go.
At first, before the Euro step, it was a great sidestep because she could have possibly gotten a charge, but was able to sidestep out of the way.
Anderson in double figures.
And credit Anderson, she has played at least like 6 minutes with 4 fouls and has yet to commit that 5th foul.
Yeah, she got 4 fouls midway through that 3rd quarter, and she still remains in the game. So down 6 with Edgewood, and you see Stevens now kind of outside on Anderson. Spear, baseline, too strong. Battle for it between Mia Shields and Helms. It'll be a jump ball.
Part of that also has to do with the fact that Stevens has 4 fouls as well.
You don't want to commit that 5th, so she was very careful about it. As Stevens, Minnick, off the mark. Stevens, they don't call Helms for over the back.
Yeah, and that's her inner freshman coming out. She's been very lucky to not be called on quite a few over the backs. That's something she's going to need to work on.
As she gets called that time for the foul against Ella Shields.
Fouls on Trista Helms.
So that is 2 on Trista Helms.
Shields.
Team's 9th, Ella Shields at the line. I mean, this is going to come down to basically Greencastle living on the free throw line. And they missed that one. One more for Ella Shields. And she misses both. That is critical coming down the stretch. As we approach 4 minutes to go, Minnick to Anderson, to Spear. Cross-court pass, dangerous. Minnick, Meyer, shot up and good for Meyer.
Now that's the kind of offense I want to see. A Spear just got a steal and then stolen right back by Duff.
And here's Duff, 2 on 2. Gets it to Shields, and Mia Shields scores her first 2 of the night. Lead is at 6.
But back to the previous play, that's what I want to see, that kind of passing and offense, something that has been lacking here in this game.
There's Meyer, another shot too strong, rebounded by Stevens. Gets it to Duff. Mia Shields thought about driving down the lane, pulls it back out. 6-point lead for Greencastle. Meyer tries to steal it from Stoffergen, not able to. Very vocal crowd here as Stoffergen down the lane and scores. And Coach Windland telling his team to get back as Edgewood's going to push it. Minnick driving past Stevens, and that is going to be all for Stevens.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge blow for the Tiger Cubs.
Stevens at the line shooting 2. Minnick.
It's going to be a huge blow for the Tiger Cubs, but with just under 3 minutes left and an 8-point lead, and with the Shield sisters helping take over this game, she's left it in pretty good hands at this point, and it's still going to be an upward climb for Edgewood even with Stevens out.
Stevens fouls out with 22 points as Minnick hits the foul shot. But that's a big inside presence that you take away now from Greencastle here in this final under 3 minutes. Minnick hits both free throws, and now it is a timeout for Edgewood, a 30-second timeout.
And if I'm Coach Simic at this point, I'm drawing up plays on how to get Helms involved now down low without Stevens there.
Well, Trista Helms, even though she's not been able to score, as you see Kurt Simic and he's instructing his team, Trista Helms has, like I said, she establishes position. She's been a force defensively, been able to alter shots, block shots, get boards. Now this is the time for her to step up on offense and get buckets because Stevens is out of the game. And now Greencastle's got to change.
And
if
I'm Greencastle, I'm going to continue riding on Ella Shields to continue basically controlling this. Maybe get Duff open to maybe hit a couple daggers as well.
Yeah, Duff has only scored 4 points tonight. She's been held in check. As here comes that pressure from Edgewood, and now it is going to be, I think, Minnick, and if this is Minnick's 5th.
Well, either way, it's going to be a 5th for someone.
And that is it for Taylor Minnick.
At the line for the Lady Tigers, shooting 2.
Yeah, that was a win-win for Greencastle. You had a double team of 2 players with 4 fouls, both of them critical offensive pieces.
And Minnick fouls out with 11, so her second double-figure game of the year. Both teams in the double bonus. Jalen Duff at the line. Misses the free throw.
I told you they're not free.
Foul shots. If I'm Coach Windland and Coach Simic, I'd have these girls working on foul shots all the time. And Duff hits the second one, and it is back to 7 points.
Look at that ball. Look how big it is.
Anderson. Sherfield. Simic telling Anderson, get to the corner. Meyer. Gets it to Anderson, cutting in the lane, puts up a shot. Oh, in and out. Rebound, Soffergan to Duff. Duff gonna walk it up the floor.
And that's the importance of still boxing out even if you think a shot is going in, because none of the Mustangs boxed out on that play.
And Ella Shields scores off the cut, and it's now a 9-point lead. Here's another turnover, and Coach Windland saying, hey, pull it out, and gets it to Duff. Now Edgewood is going to have to either play the foul game or bank on their defense. And with no shot clock here in Indiana, this is critical because you're going to have to give up fouls at some point. You got several girls in foul trouble. Stoffergen, guarded by Meyer. Going to throw up a shot, no call. Helms got her hands in the air, and here comes Edgewood, Kaylee Meyer. And she's going to get called for a travel as she just moved Duff out of the way.
Yeah, more lucky for not being called for a fifth foul, honestly.
As Edgewood's won 2 in a row in this series.
Get the ball, Mia!
And there is Mia Shields guarded by Anderson. Anderson's got to be careful because she's got 4. So now, as we approach a minute, there's a foul. And that will be all for Shelby Anderson.
Fouls on Shelby Anderson. At the line, Maya Shields. Entering the game for the Lady Mustangs.
Now Mallory Love going to check in.
Mallory Love.
16 for Shelby Anderson. And now Mia Shields back at the line for the first time this evening. Free throw is up and good. And now Greencastle looking to go 2-0 on the year. They've got Owen Valley, Benton Central next week at home. And she hits the second foul shot, and this lead now is 11 for Greencastle. Edgewood going to fall to 1-1 Bloomington South next week. And then a turnover, and now Allie Spear is going to get called, and that's going to be all for Allie Spear. That was a frustration foul.
And all these players juggling 4 fouls, all basically ending their games right at the same time.
And Daphne Ehrman's going to come back in. And Madison Rogers coming in for Greencastle. So Jalen Duff at the line. Quiet night tonight for her, 5 points. And she gets the foul shot. She's got 6. Lead is 12. Again, these two teams could possibly meet up in the crossover matchups in January. It is based on how you finish in the division.
And one thing I want to say about Duff is that even though she's had a quiet night, you can see her senior leadership. The Shield sisters, they've been doing an excellent job in the fourth quarter, and she's been like their biggest supporter during that time as well.
Absolutely. Coach Winland's got several seniors he can rely on this year, and he's hoping to get Claire Gillen back soon. She's been injured, and that's a big presence, 6-foot senior that he does not have yet. But he's got a good team. He's got a good start to his time here at Greencastle after getting let go at Carmel. And I know he's thankful for the opportunity at Greencastle after a tumultuous off-season for him. And the Greencastle fans going to come to their feet as they're going to dribble this out, and Greencastle is going to win it 55-42. So Greencastle going to go to 2-0. Edgewood going to drop to 1-1, and here are the highlights, and it's Allison Stevens leading the way for Greencastle with 22. There is Taylor Minnick. She scores 11. And then it's the inside presence to Jalen Duff on the pass. That's what Greencastle does well, cutting to the basket inside, getting points in the paint. Trista Helms, a nice job for the freshman, blocking and altering shots. There is Duff coming down and scoring, or missing it, and then Stevens with the putback. And then again, just getting to the basket on those cuts as Greencastle wins 55-42 for all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes. For my partner, Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. Thank you for watching, and good night from Ellettsville.